I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Man, do I feel good today. Sometimes that song has an extra special relevance, and that certainly hits home for me today. Welcome to your midweek edition, midday edition of your Feel Good Show, Expresso. A new dawn was ushered in this past Saturday when the Miss South Africa top 10 finalists competed for that coveted title in a dazzling grand finale. And of course, that presented us with a brand new figurehead for South Africa in a stunning hybrid entertainment spectacle that was broadcast from right here in Cape Town. Shudufhadzo Musida was crowned as Miss South Africa 2020, a fan favorite. Undoubtedly, the 24-year-old graduate from Hamasia in Limpopo is one of the first Venda women to hold the title, and we're getting a chance right now to sit down with her to break down this unbelievable victory, this crazy time of your life. We've obviously had the opportunity to chat quite a bit, so I kind of already feel like I'm getting to know you and a bit of your wonderful backstory. But this time of your life must be crazy. I'm going to ask you to take a step back, though, because I don't know if you've even had time to take cognizance of everything that's gone on. Was there a moment where you were like, all right, I can do this? Or has it just been a whirlwind trip where you kind of find yourself in that place? Because everything happens so fast. Was there that moment?
I think throughout the entire competition, I've just always thought to myself, I just need to work hard, enjoy the process, and everything will work out. In the last 4 days before the crowning, there was this unimaginable peace in my heart that everything will be okay. I was wondering why I was nervous, like about the process, about the fact that we're crowning a new Miss South Africa. So when they actually called out my name, the shock was more of, this is why I wasn't shocked before. It was not the shock of, hey.
Providence, it's meant to be.
Yeah, so it was more of, okay, this is why I was not nervous before the show. It was meant to be, this was written, you know? So it was really, really exciting. And it's still sinking in that it actually happened, that I'm Miss South Africa 2020.
I've known many Miss South Africas over the years, worked on the pageant, know how what a process that is of transformation, just building up to it, getting yourself to a place where you're ready to take on the challenge, then actually winning, and then the real transformation begins, this year of your life that I have a feeling only a year and a half from now will you look back and go, okay, this is what's going on, because it's just so crazy. But you highlighted the role of 3 women in your life in getting you to where you are at the moment, your late grandmother, your mother, and your aunt. And firstly, why was it so important for you to highlight those women, and what did they give to your life and give to you as a young woman that has gotten you to where you are?
My late grandmother was a symbol of strength in our family. She knew the importance of educating her children and empowering them with education in order for our lives to change forever. It took one decision and many sacrifices for me to be sitting here today. If it wasn't for the sacrifices and her strength and the fact that we are here because she knew that this moment would come, and she empowered us with the right skills and lessons. For example, she taught me how it is important to treat everyone the same, irrespective of their status in society. Once you learn how to treat everyone the same, I think you learn that there's an element of kindness and love that exists in our society. But more often than not, we treat people with disregard just because they don't have this, they don't have that. She taught me the opposite. She taught me to be kind and have respect for every single person, and I carry that with me every single day. And I think that is the reason why I'm sitting here, you know. And then my mother is. That is my rock. My mother's my rock. She knew that I had a dream of living a life of service. So when I decided to start going back home and helping as much as I can with the food programs, she came with me. She helped me carry every single one of the things that we had gotten and helped me hand over to the different facilities that we went to. She was there in every single moment, making sure that I'm okay. She would ask, "Are you okay? Do you need some food?" Like, she was just that person. She was my rock. She walked with me every single morning, actually, before the pageant. So she knew that I was busy with school and the pageant. So she was like, no, you need moments where you just unwind. So every single morning we'd wake up, walk for an hour, and then come back home. No phone, nothing, no music, just the silence and just the air in our faces,
peace.
you know. And then my aunt also raised me. She did exactly what my grandmother did. So it was important for me to highlight all these women because they have made me the woman that I am today.
I feel you. I had the privilege of growing up in an all-female household, and I think that compassion that's innate, that's something that I really do value. We see this exemplified in few South African women at the moment, and that's, I think, the proudest evolution of what Miss South Africa is now. It's contemporary, it represents the best of what South Africa could be, and of course Zozibini Tunzi very much was the figurehead from that. Did you have a complete fangirl moment when you got to connect with her? What's it like knowing that she's now your confidant, she's there to be able to help and guide you through this process?
We had a shoot before, like I think it was 3 days before the crowning, and she walked out in this beautiful suit, and I stared at her. I was like, how is it possible for someone to have such a presence? And she looked at me, and I was like, oh, she's going to think I'm weird for staring at me like that. She's going to think I'm weird.
I think she's used to it. Don't worry, I think she knows that.
And then she just saw me staring, and I wasn't smiling or anything because I was in complete shock that this is like she's right here and she has the strength about her. So knowing that she's actually a sister is beautiful, because she actually after the show she was like, you're so deserving. She reassured me that this is my moment. She's such an amazing person.
What validation. Your family, I would imagine, your village must have entered a new reality, really, when this began. Have you had a chance to kind of take stock with them, and how have they received this?
I called my grandfather the night of crowning, and he was so happy. He's like, you've made me so proud. Thank you so much. And I've been seeing videos from my family, videos of them celebrating. Actually, the entire village went to my grandfather's house. They've been at my grandfather's house for the past week.
Because it's a tiny village.
It's a tiny village, so they've been going to my grandfather's house, cooking, making sure that everyone is celebrating. It's a family. So it literally took an entire village to get me here, but not only my village, the village of South Africa. Those are the people that got me here, and their support is unwavering and so amazing.
This village now sits on your shoulders and you sit on theirs in this beautiful relationship that is only going to flourish from here on out. Yes, the weight of responsibility is there, and I think you're up for that. But there is an opportunity to do something that very few people get to do. What are you most excited about having this platform for?
I'm excited to make a change. I know that's a big responsibility to put on myself, but I'm excited to make a change, even if it's in the smallest way. I've always known that I had the ability to impact lives. Now I have the platform to do that. Now I have the stage to do that. Funny enough, growing up, I always wanted to touch people through music, touch people's hearts through music. Now I get to do it as them as South Africa. I get to impact my nation and make sure that we all empowered. You know, someone said success means nothing if the person next to you is not benefiting from it. And I believe that's what my reign should be like. I want people to look at me as a beacon or a representation of the beauty, resilience, and diversity that exists in this country.
And that you are. We are going to be engaging with you guys at home, and we've got, I know, a lot of people really keen to connect, and we'll try and get into some of those messages of hope when we return. We'll be hearing the experiences of the runners-up to Shudufhadzo Musida and Natasha Yobe, because she doesn't stand alone. She has her sisters, and we'll be meeting them in just a moment. Welcome back to what has been a glittering endorsement of South Africa, and of course a pageant that changes lives. In fact, it transcends what a pageant is. 2020 Miss South Africa's competition has, I think it's set a different standard, and it certainly is different from any other competition that we would have seen even before the COVID-19 pandemic transformed the way the process took place this year, as it has so many different things. Viewers and fans alike, I think, were able to connect to the contestants in an even more intimate and indelible way. And we are being joined by Miss SA 2020 first and second runners-up, Tato Masetle and Natasha Yobert, respectively, here to share a little bit about what must have been a life-changing experience. Ladies, congratulations.
Thank
to
you.
both of you. I've been digging into my vault of having worked on Miss SAs and knowing what it takes to get just to the final, how much of the pressure that's there, how much you transform yourselves to get to that point. Now throw COVID into the mix. What a crazy year. Maybe Tato, I can start with you. You had to go via social media, which is a completely new way, but maybe the way that we need to be doing this in the future. What was that process like?
The process started during May. Mid-May, I sent in my application, but I think what was something very special was to see how many people are willing to put themselves out there. I think it was a very good quality to see in people, that people were ambitious and people had a certain level of confidence and bravery, which I think in essence is some of the qualities you have to have as a Miss South Africa. So I liked that route because it sort of prepared you for the journey that you're heading towards. And yeah, unfortunately only 35 were selected from the videos, but I think so many messages were heard, so many passions of women of South Africa were heard, which I think was pretty cool to see, yeah.
And man, didn't we need that voice after the year that we've been having to feel proud about our country. Were you comfortable on social media before this process? What did it take to kind of put yourself out in that way? Because if you think about it, this is what we should be using social media for. It's not superficial, but rather meaningful engagements with the public out there. What was that process like for you?
Yes, I actually spoke to a few people about this, and I've never been so comfortable using my voice as during Miss South Africa, because when you go into Miss SA, they want you to convey a message. And I just felt so comfortable on getting on that Insta story and being like, this is my message. I want to inspire other people to do the same, feel comfortable in themselves. So yes, actually before that, no, I don't feel like my social media had the same exact impact, but definitely during Miss SA.
And now, from now on,
Yes,
you know
it's
what
very
you
important.
can actually use it for. And it's, I think you now are sisters,
Yes.
because you've had a shared experience like no other.
Yes.
But take nothing away from the fact that you were part of the Miss South Africa pageant, that you made it into the top 10, that you made it to the very pinnacle, to that podium, which is amazing, but through a completely different process. How strange was it having to social distance and manage that, not have the massive live audience? What was that experience like? Did it tarnish it or did it enhance it, the fact that you got this one-on-one, very intimate time with these amazing judges and fellow contestants? What was that like?
I think for me, what COVID-19 taught us is it can turn out anyway. So we went in with fresh eyes, very excited to see the new innovations in the pageant and everything like that. So initially when we stayed together, we had to social distance, and I remember we used to share meals, but we'd sit at 5 tables. So at every meal, we sit with a different girl, which helped us bond, because there's certain people you just naturally gravitate towards, but in having to sit with someone that you wouldn't naturally gravitate towards helped you learn about them. And I think that's why we're so close as the 10 that we are. And in terms of people on social media, I think we were more interactive than we would have otherwise been, because you think, I'll wait for an activation to speak to people. But we actually were aware of the platform that we had already. And we just networked. And we got so much positive feedback, DMs, people saying how inspired they are of us, telling us about their ambitions and dreams. So it was beautiful to experience,
You did have some support there, and of course behind the mask we could still see the parents smizing, the smile in the eyes. How special was that to have your family go through this? Because it must be a deeply personal journey you're going through, as much as you're exposing yourself to the world. It's this beautiful thing that your family get to be a part of.
I must say I missed them a lot. When pageant day came, I was like, I'm ready to see them. But I think not only having them there for support, but actually having them witness this once-in-a-lifetime experience with you was something so special. Seeing them afterwards and feeling like, oh, they're proud of you. No matter the outcome, they're proud of you, and they're there to support you regardless. And we are obviously very fortunate to be representing South Africa, so they're going to walk the journey with us throughout this year.
It is a journey, and it's a year-long journey, and there is a fair bit of responsibility that falls on your shoulders as well. You've got the sash, now you've got to use it.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to about having this opportunity? And if 2020 has taught us anything, things could change. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I mean. So this, I mean, you might have to ramp up your responsibility if we get another Miss Universe title. There are so many possibilities. What are you most excited about?
I'm really excited about just growing through the organization, actually seeing the change that I will be implementing through, like, supporting each other as well. I think Shudu, Natasha and I have visions that sort of interlinked with each other.
Yes.
So seeing what project we can work towards together, and also seeing how much impact we can have individually. I'm so excited about the impact that this platform gives us, yeah.
You've got to be proud of yourself. You've got to take a moment to really validate who you are. And it's got to be a cool thing to know, like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, amidst all of this madness, I'm actually okay. What about yourself are you most proud of through this journey that you've been on? And what are you looking forward to South Africa getting to know about you?
About myself. Toto, help me out.
Treat it like a pageant question when one of the judges
No.
asks
I actually grew a lot. Like 5 months back, I wouldn't even recognize myself anymore.
Wow.
I've never felt so comfortable in my being, and I think I speak on behalf of all 10 girls, than during Miss South Africa. Because they just really push you to grow and, like, step outside of that comfort zone that you are used to. That I think what I would love people to know about me is, like, every person have a story, and no one is perfect, as cliche as it might sound.
Sure.
Like, there's a humanity part about yourself that I would like people to see and feel inspired through. Yeah.
And you, Tato, how are you coming to grips with the fact that from where you started to where you are now, and it's your achievement, you've done this?
I've done this, and what I'm proud of is the way I've maintained who I am. I'm a very bubbly person. I make jokes all the time. I don't have one right now, but
Can you sing? Can you perform?
I don't have talent. That's my talent.
She has a funny bone to her.
Yes, I smile. But yeah, I maintained that from the moment I entered showing a bit of my personality, and I sustained that throughout. And even on that stage, I was true to who I was, which was always encouraged throughout the competition. So I'm proud of not losing who I am, and I will carry myself wherever I go here. I think that's a strength that
You can't actually help but to laugh when you're with Toto, but yet she's also serious when she needs to be. And I think she was she was literally the one girl you can go to and you immediately feel better about yourself when you walk away.
And that's the energy you're going to need throughout this year, because the country needs you right now. Let's be honest, the country needs positivity. The country needs to see amazing young women doing amazing things, which you have already done, so tick that box. But the year is still waiting, and I think we cannot wait to see what these incredible young women are going to still achieve. This holy trinity that exists here at the top of the top 10 really is impressive, and we're going to find out what is in store for these three ladies with this incredible year that they have at their feet that's on the way.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your midday slot of Expresso. Today we have Shudufhadzo Musida and Natasha Hubert, and we'll be chatting to them about the adventures of Miss South Africa.
Yay! Oh man, God, I love it. I think when Natasha took that selfie of herself, Shuru and Tato, back in August, as they were, I think, probably bonding throughout the Miss South Africa competition, this incredible journey that they've shared. Little did they know that they would come out as the top 3 queens in the process. And they're all sitting with us today to share their incredible journey, just a little bit of it, but most importantly, to start the conversation that you want to have with the public, because it's your public now. And I think that's a really, really big part of this, is knowing your voice and what you want to achieve with this. We've heard about mental health awareness being raised, which is a fantastic starting point. What are you most keen for this public to know?
I think I've had circumstances throughout my life that wasn't the ideal anyone would like. I lost a parent at a really young age when I was 16 years old, and not only went through that traumatic experience but also have like financial difficulty. So it put me in a place to be independent at such a young age and be so vulnerable that I actually just want to share the message to our youth to know no matter your circumstances, you can sit where I'm sitting today representing our country. Yeah.
I love that. You know, when you talk about empowerment, I was talking to Shudi earlier that this platform has transformed from being, yes, an amazing pageant where we explore beautiful, wonderful South African women, to a true representation of empowerment and everything that comes with it in a modern South African context. How important is it for you now? Do you identify with that young girl? Do you speak to a young Tata when you are envisioning empowering that next woman, or any South African for that matter? How important is that to you?
It's very important. I grew up in a small town in the Northwest Province, and we wouldn't see a lot of examples of women who are empowered. And I don't know how, but I think my mother instilled in me that we are a different generation with different opportunities. And so long as an opportunity presents itself in front of you, you should grab hold of it. Mm-hmm. So I think I ran with that message, because I'm sitting today as a medical doctor, the first in my family, and I'm so proud of it. But the people from Stilfontein are seeing that it's possible. The children and specifically the girl child who sees that in me and who sees I'm even more ambitious, even pursuing titles like Miss South Africa, gives her hope to believe that it doesn't matter where you come from, it only matters how you take the opportunities presented to yourself. So my campaign is really to narrow that gap between the potential that we all possess and the opportunities available to us as young people of South Africa. Yeah.
All I'm hearing you really say is you must win Miss Universe. That's what I'm picking up from what you're putting down there, Cole. Come on.
Thank you.
You guys do kind of share a responsibility in that sense, but you've now been thrust into this platform that goes beyond just what you can do, but also who you're going to be meeting in terms of that strategic network of people that you're going to have around you. Who do you most want to meet in the world today? What are you most excited about in that sense? Because you're now becoming part of a very elite global village.
Global village, I love how you put that, because if I had to meet someone today, I think it would be Michelle Obama. I think she's such a strong woman that we can all aspire to. The fact that you look to her and you realize that she could be easily a president of any country that she wants to become, you realize that anything is possible. There's no limit to who us as women can be. I believe that we need to reposition ourselves in society and as key role players, because we are. A lot of times you get a lot of questions about how you think of women as leaders and things like that, but then you realize that there's always like a male ideal that we need to aspire to, but women are so strong. Women are so strong. So if I had to meet someone like that, it would be Michelle Obama, because she's a definition of what a woman can be.
Completely, I agree. When this is done and dusted, a year from now, what do you want to look back and have achieved?
Well, actually just representing South Africa to the best of my ability, whatever the outcome is. Because we've been given this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And already looking back, it's been so worth it. I have sisters for life that's going to support me wherever I go. So yeah, I just want to make my country proud. Yeah.
Well, luckily you've already ticked that box. Tata, what are you hoping to achieve as a legacy?
The legacy I want to leave is, I want when people come from meeting me, I want them to remember how I made them feel. I want them to remember the respect I treated them with. I want them to leave them in a better space than I found them, because a lot of the times you meet someone, you say such out of reach things that they feel like they can't attain what you have attained. But I want them to see me as a normal girl with normal struggles who just did anything. Yeah.
I'm going to let you, Shudu, close the show, seeing as you started our segment here. I'm going to take a moment to just enjoy it as well along the journey, because you've earned that right. Do you want to say goodbye to the nation?
Thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm so thankful that you're with us. You got to meet me, Thato Mosehle, Dr. Thato Mosehle, Natasha Hubert, and Graham. You have him every single day, but you had us for today. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We love you out there. Have an amazing day. Make someone smile and feel positive, ladies. Thank you so much. What a pleasure. What a pleasure.
Bye, guys.